Hi, this is Sarah Mikesell with the Pig Site, and today we're here with Dr. Fredrik Sandberg. He is a senior R&D nutritionist with Furst-McNess. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Very good. And we should say we're here at World Pork Expo in Des Moines, Iowa in the United States. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about Furst-McNess and your Trifecta program. So let's start out with feed.
Yeah, so we take a very broad approach where we look at feed, air, and water together. And in our feed program, we developed specific feed mitigants, such as feed armor, to try and protect for diseases coming in through the feed. And we also have a very unique gel that allows us to do creep feeding without having to handle bags. And our first piglet gel has been a great success for us.
Very good. Excellent. And tell us, that's a new product that you're launching, right?
Yeah, we're launching it here at the show. It's brand new this year.
Excellent. So let's talk. So we talked about feed, and then there's air.
Yeah, so in terms of air, it's always a very difficult area to deal with, especially in large barns. But we have worked with a company to develop a hypochlorous fogging system. So hypochlorous acid is a very well-known disinfectant that's been used in hospitals. It's safe for people. And we have worked to develop what's called a dry mist. So adding into the air, no moisture, but we can completely sanitize the air in an entire barn whilst the animals are still present.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's been a huge success.
Interesting technology, right?
Yes, it is. And very, very effective across a lot of different types of diseases.
Excellent, very good. And so let's talk about let's talk about water next. That's the third leg of the trifecta.
Yeah, so in terms of water, one of the challenging parts of disease especially is that it reduces feed intake. And if feed intake goes down, we don't have many solutions. So we use water supplementation to deliver very high levels of technologies like monoglycerides, which are very well known to be beneficial. But through some development, we have been able to deliver a very high grams per day consumption. And we've done extensive research with that for the last 5 years.
And what does this ultimately, the trifecta approach, what's your goal with that?
Yeah, so the goal is that production is multifactorial. There's never a silver bullet to solve any problem. And we, McNess is a over 100-year-old company. We work with all the species. And when you do that, you realize that to solve a problem, you have to consider all aspects. And for us, by being very specific about integrating a system of feed, air, and water, we can see real impacts. And we have demonstrated this working with producers across the Midwest, that when you dial in and focus very carefully on each segment, the sum of the total is more than its parts.
Yeah, very good. And some of these are things like water that some producers don't always think about, right? I mean, really being focused on water and water quality and all those kind of different things, right?
Yes, and I think one of the challenges with water is that people usually have to make a choice of using one technology, whether it's antibiotics, whether it's aspirin, whether it's a probiotic or an acidifier. But we have developed two separate technologies. One is First Strike Direct and another is First Protect Direct. And the technology that we use to deliver the monoglycerides, which are fats, through drinking water, allows us to deliver them simultaneously with drugs.
Oh, wow.
Our product is an emulsifier and a flavoring, and it actually helps those antibiotics or, for example, anti-inflammatories like meloxicam to be delivered more effectively.
Interesting. Very good. Well, thank you so much for all the information today, Fredrik.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
This is Sarah Mikesell with the Pig Site.